What's up, guys? I'm bringing you the first video in a brand new series called Advanced Strategies for GBL, I guess. And this video is on a situation that I see pretty commonly played incorrectly, even at the higher levels. So this is the scenario where you would stop attacking to prevent your opponent from farming down your Pokemon and therefore winning the game. If you haven't seen this strategy before, maybe it's because your opponents didn't know when to use it, but if you can identify a situation in which it's useful for you, it can absolutely win you a game. And I'll go over a couple of these scenarios here where it has won me games, and then I will go over the same situation played 4 different ways, so you can learn how to not only play the stop attacking game, but play against it. And like I said, I see so many people play this wrong. I felt like it was very important to make a video on this. There's going to be no PowerPoint in this one because it's less about confusing mechanics and more about ideal scenarios. So I'll get this started here. And in this situation, we're just going to see some setup here so you can see what I'm talking about. What's going to end up happening is that my opponent is going to put me in a situation where all he needs to do is in this shieldless situation is to farm down my Bastiodon with a Galarian Stunfisk, which he's not threatened by, so he can throw an Earthquake off at my Victory Bell, which is remaining. And my goal is to stop him from letting that happen. So we're going to see this Galarian Stunfisk is pretty low, and Victory Bell comes back in. I'm going to blow a shield, and he baits the Rock Slide and goes for the second Rock Slide. So I'm going to shield both of these. I know now he's not at very much energy, and he swaps to Abomasnow. So the problem with swapping my Bastiodon back into Abomasnow is that while I win this matchup, if the Galarian Stunfisk comes in and gets 5 to 8 Mud Shots off, I'll lose. So you can see I'm letting this Abomasnow farm me down. The only thing is I don't want to let this Abomasnow beat my Bastiodon because then they can throw Weather Ball. But now because I let them take my Bastiodon down quite a bit more, you're going to see I'm only going to let 3 Mud Shots through worth of energy for this Stunfisk. And now I'm 2 Razor Leafs from a Leaf Blade, and I'm going to get to this Leaf Blade at the exact same time that this Galarian Stunfisk gets to Rock Slide and win the CMP tie, obviously. So stopping attacking there and letting that Abomasnow weaken my Pokemon absolutely won me the game. And it's these kinds of plays that can take your 3-2 set and turn into a 4-1 set. And that's already an absolute ton of points. So we're going to look at another scenario here. This is just setting it up as well. We're going to get brought into another stop attacking scenario. So the last one wasn't really a standstill. It was just I stopped attacking a little bit in order to get my advantage back. In this case, we're going to look at the scenario where there is a complete standstill. Neither Pokemon want to attack at all. And I'm going to explain why it was potentially incorrectly played by my opponent, but you'll see this is an important part too. Shields are now completely down, so this really simplifies the scenario. And we have Machamp versus Dragonite. So this is what we're going to see here. Machamp is going to throw a Rock Slide, and I'm going to throw Dragon Claw. But what is important to notice is that my opponent and I both realize. So I stop attacking here, and my opponent realizes he doesn't want to KO me with this Cross Chop, right? He needs to be able to farm down and beat my Magnezone. So because I wait for the switch timer to come back up, I'm able to bring in Magnezone right away. And this Metagross, it doesn't have time to farm down my Dragonite to get to that very important Earthquake. So in this case, what my opponent might have wanted to do is save his energy for Cross Chop and keep farming me down. If he keeps farming me down and he beats the Dragonite without spending that Cross Chop, then he can just throw a Cross Chop at the Magnezone and win the game. But instead, he throws the Cross Chop at the Dragonite. That's a very common mistake. People like to throw the energy to do as much damage as they can. So this is what people do a lot of the time. This next game, also setting up another scenario. You can see this happens a lot in Master Premier because there's a lot of opportunities to farm down an opposing Pokemon. Like a Metagross versus a Dragonite, for example, or a Togekiss. So we're going to see a Togekiss come back in, setting up the game, and shield the Meteor Mash. So now we have no shields. I'm going to go with Magnezone, and what they do is they come in with Swampert. I swap right away to catch the move. But what they realize, and what I realize here, is that if I feint the Swampert right now, their Togekiss is just going to come in and charm down Dragonite. And if Togekiss has a Flamethrower, it can actually beat Magnezone. So we both stop attacking here, and you can see I'm just waiting for this switch timer to come back up. My opponent has completely stopped attacking as well, and I will explain later why this is not an optimal play. But I wait for the switch timer to come back up, feint him, and then I come back in with a Magnezone and Wild Charge is going to be enough to take care of this. So this is a scenario. This is going to set up the next 4 videos, exactly how this game plays. So, and it'll explain the reason why stop attacking is, if your opponent is stopping attacking, you shouldn't be stopping attacking, because it doesn't threaten anything. So in this scenario, what's going to happen is we're going to have a Bastiodon for all the next 4 scenarios. We're going to have a Bastiodon locked in with a Galarian Stunfisk. You're going to swap out Victreebel and get caught in with this Altaria. So this is just the base case. In the base case, there's no one stops attacking. Altaria farms down Victreebel, but now Bastiodon has the opportunity to farm down Altaria. And now because Bastiodon is able to farm down Altaria, Bastiodon is going to have a Flamethrower to be able to beat this Galarian Stunfisk in the head-to-head, despite being at a little bit lower HP. So this is how you win this game. You bait out the Altaria, you farm it down, and then you throw a Flamethrower at the Galarian Stunfisk that comes in. This is the base case. So in this next case, we're going to look at the same scenario, except we're going to explore the scenario where Altaria stops attacking. So this is what might happen. You're a Victreebel player. You want to get this as much damage as you can off. You throw your Leaf Blade, and guess what? The Altaria stops attacking. So what do? Well, you try and beat the Altaria, so you just keep throwing Leaf Blades. But this isn't the proper course. You're going to see how this game outcome ends. My opponent sees me getting low, throws a Dragon Breath, feints me, and now my Bastiodon does not have enough energy to get to a Flamethrower. Galarian Stunfisk beats to an Earthquake, and even though you survive, these Mud Shots are going to do enough damage so that I couldn't actually get to the Flamethrower anyways. So this is what happened when my opponent stopped attacking and I don't play this properly. This is another scenario. So this is what I was talking about earlier with that Swampert. So I throw a Charge Move Energy, but this time I notice my opponent has stopped attacking. So I'm going to stop attacking as well, right? I want to leave that Altaria with enough HP to farm down. Makes sense, right? Makes sense, ideally, that if I don't attack with my Victreebel, I can then come in with my Bastiodon. But that ends up being incorrect too, because the switch timer is going to come back up. This Altaria can take down my Victreebel and use a charge move here to stall the clock long enough that they can swap out, and Bastiodon doesn't actually get any extra energy at all. So if the correct play isn't to also stop attacking, then what is the correct play? So here we're going to take a look at the correct play. Altaria comes in and stops attacking. What am I going to do? I'm not going to stop attacking. I have to be able to threaten this Altaria and the next Pokemon with my Victreebel. So I charge all the way up with these inconsequential Razor Leafs, and I go for the Sludge Bomb, which takes out the Altaria, and I'll still have enough energy for the Leaf Blade here. So in this case, you want to keep attacking when your opponent stops attacking if your fast moves aren't doing that much damage. And most likely, if your opponent has stopped attacking, this will be the case. They're not going to stop attacking if your fast moves have some serious threat at taking them out. So for example, in that Swampert example, Swampert versus Dragonite, you want to get to 100 energy like they were, but you want to probably throw Hydro Cannon and get them into Sludge Wave range so that you can keep charging up and then win the game by throwing a Sludge Wave at the Dragonite and then a Hydro Cannon at the Magnezone. But that is a tough scenario to get into. You do want to keep throwing those Mud Shots though in that case, and you do need to keep attacking to kind of put pressure on your opponent. If your opponent can just sit there and not attack at all, then you've played right into their hands already. You need to put the pressure on to either make them feint your Pokemon and you able to take them down, or you need to be able to put enough pressure on that you can actually take the matchup and win it and the next one with the energy advantage. But yeah, if you enjoyed this kind of video, please let me know. I've got a couple more ideas for some advanced strategies as well. I'll put my Patreon and Discord channels in the description of the video as well, if this is something you'd like to support, or if you just want to hang out in Discord. We got a nice little community going on there. And I would like to also throw one last thank you to all my current Patreon supporters. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.